I'm glad I made the worst list this year. I said last year I wasn't gonna do the worst list, and it certainly wasn't because the music in 2024 was so good that I just couldn't bring myself to dunk on the negatives. No, the warning signs of bland, uninspired music about nothing were very much present back in 2024, and I just didn't feel like forcing myself to get outraged over a group of songs that I genuinely did not care about. But this year was different. The apathy just boiled over to a point where I could no longer remain silent, and it caused me to regain my purpose for why I started doing these lists in the first place. You see, in years like the ones that we just had, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that even in the darkest of times, there are little signs of light that give us just the slightest glimmer of hope for things to come. And while it may be easy to get so wrapped up in the negative that you're convinced that music will just never be good again, it's most important now to highlight the good stuff that we did get this year. And as the year kept marching further and further along, I began holding fast to the songs that I did like this year, refusing to let them leave my side. That's all we can do in the dark times, is cherish and cling to the positivity that is in our lives. So with that in mind, let's end this year on a high note by counting down.
Tell me, would you wait for me? Baby,
The top 10 best hit songs of 2025. Number 10. Now, the interesting thing about this year's list is that the gap between entrants is as thin as it's ever been. Anything in the top 5 could have had a case to be number 1, and the number 10 entry could be as high as number 6.
창이가 좋아하는 랜덤 게임, 랜덤 게임, 게임 스타트. 아파트 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 아파트
So Rosé is a member of the K-pop girl band called Blackpink, whose output has been, shall we call it, uneven. And I didn't even really like this song much at first, but boy did it grow on me. It combines the youthful pep rally cheerleader energy inspired by Tony Basil with the cosign of one of the industry's most respected active artists in Bruno Mars. APT, or APT, as the song says that, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Apparently it's a Korean drinking game. Don't ask me how to play it. I looked it up numerous times and I still don't know how it works. I do really like the idea of this song just being about a fun little game that you play, and Rosé has said that it's her favorite game, and incorporating the chanting element of the game into the hook of a pop song I think is really novel and creative. And I also just really love the idea of a song being written just for fun. In a world that's increasingly filling up with artists who take themselves way too seriously, including a guy who got his start as a TikTok prankster, lest we forget, it's nice to see someone just let loose and have fun with it. Even Bruno Mars is letting go of himself a little on this song. Typically he's the kind of guy you would find sipping fruit-flavored champagne at the Ritz, but sure, I'll go down some cheap Korean liquor at this trashy apartment party, why not?
it's whatever you like. Turn this opposite into a club.
But credit to Bruno Mars for coming in with the assist of the year on this song, lending it a sense of mainstream credibility that I don't think it would have had without him. I honestly don't know why we keep asking him to write slow, overwrought love jams like Die With A Smile when it seems pretty obvious that he'd much rather be doing this.
Tell me, would you wait for me? Baby,
Number 9.
I don't write in me, but I don't want to say this wrong.
Okay, I'm just gonna come out right now and say I don't like Benson Boone.
Please stay.
I think he has a horrifically unpleasant voice and the most punchable face in music currently. But worst of all, I just don't get the feeling that he has a unique musical identity. He strikes me as a male version of Tate McRae in that way. He's trying his best to impersonate other more popular artists in the hopes of piggybacking off the trends. Beautiful Things was him doing a really bad Noah Kahan impression. This is his best Harry Styles impression. Here, though, is where I think Boone has found his greatest strength, which is trying to be the 1975. Or more specifically, Knox.
She said, I like your coffee.
Who, as we know, is not the 1975, but I like his confidence anyways.
I'm sorry I'm here for someone else, but it's good to see your face, and I really hope you're doing well.
Anyways, I think this song really plays to Benson Boone's strengths, way better than any other song of his on the radio, in my opinion. Benson Boone is a very energetic performer, and the pulsating synths with the driving drum pattern really lets him stretch his legs.
Think for each other, but we're working it out, I suppose.
Man, I bet this song is a blast to watch him perform live. But I also don't want to sell Benson Boone short as a songwriter on here either, because this is far and away the best set of lyrics I've heard him put to paper so far in his young career.
Now I'm waiting at the diner looking traumatized, 'cause you walk up to the table with an order of fries.
That right there may be my favorite lyric of 2025. It paints such a vivid picture of a very specific situation where you run into an ex at a restaurant, and it makes you feel like you're there just from listening to it. Also, I can't move on without talking about the production. Like I said, the production allows Benson Boone to do the thing that he sounds most comfortable doing as a performer.
But I'm here for someone else.
And that switch up in the end is just mwah. I don't know where Boone's career goes from here, but I'd take 100 beautiful things if we got just one more of these. Good stuff.
Tell me, would you wait for me? Baby, I'm a
Number 8.
I don't write in me, but I don't want to say this wrong.
A principal reason for why 2025 was such an awful year was just the lack of summer hits. Summertime is supposed to be the time where big artists drop their biggest hits for festival season and just general summer partying and other stuff, but this year we didn't get any of that. The summer was dominated by Alex Warren's aptly titled Ordinary, which held an unbreakable death grip for weeks on end. And it was just an oppressively boring song to headline what was a truly uneventful summer. But there was one brave challenger who dared to hope for a better tomorrow and provide us with a brief but much needed respite from the unbearable existential droning of Alex Warren. This song actually debuted at number 1 and briefly ended the up to that point 5-week reign of Alex Warren on top of the charts. It's really a shame though this song didn't gain more traction, because if ever a song was deserving of being the song of the summer, it was this one, because this has Summer Smash written all over it. That's the biggest injustice of 2025 in my opinion. We chose the idiot TikTok influencer over the charismatic pop star who could actually sing. And that just kind of proves the point of Sabrina's entire persona if you really think about it. She's sick of constantly having to take care of dumb, immature, emotionally unavailable men, guys who refuse to better themselves, and on no song do I think Sabrina has more perfectly encapsulated that energy than on this one. One thing that has helped Sabrina a lot in her rise to superstar status is not only is she just a force of personality, but also she's actually really funny. It's not easy to be funny in pop music, and lesser women have certainly tried and failed, but Sabrina pulls it off flawlessly. You need to take better care of yourself and improve your mental health, you useless piece of shit. Overall, I am grateful to Sabrina for coming in and giving us this song. She released an entire album in 2024 and she could have taken the year off, but she saw the need for a real summer bop and she came through when all seemed lost. Kinda like the Avengers. Sabrina Carpenter is the Avengers of pop music in 2025.
Tell me, would you wait for me? Baby, I'm a
Number 7.
I don't write in me, but I don't want to say this wrong.
So in my worst list, I included a lot of indie songs. Indie rock, indie pop, dream pop. And I think I may have come across as not liking indie music, and I want to make it absolutely clear. I do not hate indie music. I don't even dislike indie music. I actually really like indie music a lot, which is why I was so disappointed that all the indie songs that got big this year were as unoriginal and as uninspired as they were. So if you're looking for an example of what I think good indie music should sound like, here you go. 2025 was a huge breakout year for this guy, Somber. He had a couple songs get big this year, and I thought they were all really good. But this one stood out to me as my favorite. The bass groove, which provides the foundation of the song, the crisp driving drum pattern, the fact that the song actually has a hook. This is something that I cannot stress enough. Indie rock songs are allowed to have hooks. You don't need to write not catchy songs just because you're indie. But the song itself is about a guy struggling to move on from a breakup. I don't know this for sure, but I think he's hooking up with a girl at the bar, but he's hesitant because he's still hung up on his ex. That's how I'm reading it, but I could be wrong. All I know is that this pre-chorus into the main chorus goes so hard. I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, but the glimmer in your eyes is saying you wanna leave. It's just so fluid and simple. It really takes you back to the good old days of early 90s alt-rock. As I said, he had other hits this year, and I thought they were all really good. And if this is the trend that indie pop rock is going to continue on into the next year or two, I would buy all the Somber stock that you could get your hands on right now.
Tell me, would you wait for me? Baby,
Number 6.
I got a lot of right in me, but I don't wanna say this wrong. You're an lady, now I'm sure, now I'm positive. I should go and warn her.
It's not that I hate the idea of girls writing songs about hashtag girl problems, I just like it done in a very specific way. And I know my opinion as a straight white man doesn't really mean anything in this scenario, but if you want my opinion, the best way to do girl drama songs is with nothing but an acoustic guitar and an expressive singing voice, and Gracie Abrams has both. Gracie Abrams also had a hit song a few years ago that I liked, and I didn't even remember that it was hers until I looked it up for this video. So I'm sure as hell not gonna forget her name after this though. Everything about this song just works for me. I love the acoustic guitar, I love the melody, I love the chorus, but most of all I love Gracie's raw, slightly unhinged delivery. You can tell she's just barely keeping it together, but she never oversells it. She's right in that sweet spot, which is a talent that most women in music, frankly, don't really have nowadays. And the lack of a big polished pop song production in favor of the more stripped back acoustic sound further serves to enhance the intimate Dear Diary theme that Gracie is clearly going for on this song. I feel like pop music over the last near decade or so has lost sight of the fact that pop music should be fun to listen to. Even though I wouldn't call this a happy song, I would definitely say that I had a blast listening to it in a way that I can't even really explain, and it's all in Gracie's performance. I love this for her.
Tell me, would you wait for me? Baby,
Number 5.
I got a lot of right in me, but I don't wanna say this wrong.
Speaking of girl drama, there's a Gen Z version of Jolene out now.
Hands up, Gabriella, Gabriella, hands up, Gabriella, la, la.
The artist behind this is named Cat's Eye, a girl pop group based out of Los Angeles, which has quite the diverse cast of characters. This one is Filipino, this one is South Korean, this one's from friggin' Switzerland, and they wrote a Latin-inspired R&B jam based on a popular country song from Tennessee. There were a lot of points along the way where this could have gone horribly wrong, but they managed to pull it off in the best ways possible. I think what I like most about this is that it's a much more assertive version of the song that it takes inspiration from.
Back off on my fella, Gabriella, back off, Gabriella, la, la.
We went from Jolene, please don't take my man, to
You better keep your filthy hands away from my man, Gabriella.
I can picture the vocalist in this chorus saying all this while she's holding a switchblade to Gabriella's stupid face.
If you touch Rick's wing, I'll cut you.
I also really love the guitar plucks in the post-chorus here. It really hammers home the Latin vibes. But that hook, that hook is the thing that just reeled me in initially.
Hands up, Gabriella, Gabriella, hands up, Gabriella, la, la.
When done right, I think that Latin R&B songs have the best hooks in all of pop music, and I would fight anybody on that.
You could have anyone else you wanted to. I'm begging you. Hands off, Gabriella. Gabriella, hands off.
I haven't listened to much of Cat's Eye's other songs, so I can't really speak with any authority over whether this is their normal sound or if they were just trying something here. But if this was just them experimenting with different sounds and ideas, I think we consider this a rousing success.
Tell me, would you wait for me? Baby, I'm a
Number 4.
I'm right in me, but I don't wanna say this wrong.
Alright, so I made no secret about the fact that I hate Morgan Wallen. I hate him, 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 I hate him. I think he's been a cancer to the country music industry and just a general blight on humanity. But also what pisses me off about him is that he is the leading purveyor now of this new genre of trap country, which is basically just culturally appropriated hip-hop music with a southern twang. Lil Nas X made it popular with Old Town Road, but the thing about that song was that it blurred the lines of what genres even are. No one could tell if it was a hip-hop song trying to be a country song, or a country song trying to be a hip-hop song, or if it was just a rap song about country topics. That's what made it special. You didn't know what it was. But since then, every frat bro douchebag has been trying to just make straight-up rap songs with southern accents, and so far I haven't heard a single one of them that was worth anything. Until now, that is.
Don't let me down easy. If you're gonna leave me, baby, go and leave me all the way. Don't ask for all your things back, cussing out my name, yeah, just to go.
Here's a radical thought if we want to actually make trap country work. How about we swap out all the white trash hillbillies with an actual black rapper from the South? That could work. This guy, Big X the Plug, has quietly become one of the hottest up-and-coming rap names of 2025. All the Way was his biggest hit of the year, and it's the first song of this category that finally made me understand country rap as a concept. It takes the best elements of both genres and it mixes them flawlessly. The sad breakup lyrics, the trap instrumental built around an amazing acoustic guitar lick, the flows of Big X the Plug in the verses, the smooth hook sung by Bailey Zimmerman. Shout out to Zimmerman for the assist on here, by the way. He only gets the hook, but oh man, does he make it count.
Burn all the bridges, don't ask forgiveness, walk away like I'm someone you hate.
The most important thing about it too is that it's catchy. I can forgive shortcomings in writing if the hook is catchy enough, and this song is an earworm just waiting to get stuck in your head. But there aren't really any lyrical shortcomings either, because Big X the Plug's pen game is just on point throughout the whole thing. The song sticks to its topic nicely, Big X the Plug has some nice bars in his 2 verses, and I also really love the central theme of the song. Like, don't leave me and then hang around just to make sure I'm okay. If you're gonna leave, just hate my guts and cut me off entirely. That would be easier for both of us. There's something to that concept for sure, and it's an interesting take on the angry breakup genre. But above all that, this song is just a bop. I crank it up in my car every time it comes on the radio. And if all country trap songs sounded like this, I'd be a much happier man listening to them on country radio stations all the freaking time.
Tell me, would you wait for me? Baby, I'm a
Number 3.
I'm right in me, but I don't wanna say this wrong.
I mean, it's just not fair at this point.
I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need her, my babies. Woke up looking for the broccoli. High key, keep a horn on me. That could my seat. IP ownership. The blueprint is by me. Mr. Get Off.
Kendrick's GNX album was one of my favorite rap albums of the year. I know Kendrick is known as the ultimate political rapper with his big galaxy brain think pieces like To Pimp a Butterfly, to the point where I think people just forget that he can rap and just have fun and let loose sometimes too. I re-listened to Damn a while back, and it may not be as abstract as T-Pap or Mr. Morale, but it still has a lot to say while showcasing what a great flow artist Kendrick is. And GNX, if you ask me, was an extension of that. This is a spiritual sequel, I think, to Damn. I loved the return to Kendrick's roots of traditional West Coast hip-hop, and while it seems that TV Off or Luther are getting the lion's share of the radio play, Squabble Up is my favorite cut from the record.
A yeet nigga couldn't try me in a tri-state.
Couldn't Try Me in a Tri-State is a banger of an opening line. I don't even know what to say about this song other than it just slaps. It just slaps. I especially love the flow in the second verse.
Little child, here was Blackie Mouse with the Smirnoff. Yee-haw, we outside, Lord, they about to kill him off. Blacks on blacks, it's a fact, this a brick or off.
It's so slick. And the hook?
I feel good, get the fuck out my face. Look good, but she don't got no ties.
If Not Like Us was the nuclear bomb that ended the feud and TV Off was the victory lap, then Squabble Up is the warning shot to any future challengers who may dare test Kendrick's dominance.
Squabble up, squabble up.
Forget Squabble Up, this song may as well be titled Come At Me, Bro. But even taking out the context of the Drake feud, this song just has such a swagger to it. Kendrick has never been one to underrate his own abilities, but these are the flows of a man who knows that he just cannot be touched.
Thunk, 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 baby, rockin' it. Quid pro quo, what you want, cause I'm watching it.
Lil Wayne used to call himself the best rapper alive pretty early on in his career, and believe me, I love me some Lil Wayne for reasons that even I don't fully understand, but Kendrick has never once had to tell you that he's the best rapper alive. He just raps, and the conversation is over.
Tell me, would you wait for me? Baby, I'm
Number 2.
I'm right in me, but I don't wanna say this wrong.
How you pick me up, tell me around, now it just makes sense. How you talk so sweet when you're doing bad things, that's bad.
Yes, I know Bedcam, it came out in 2024, but the release cycles, I missed it. Like, just give me this one, okay? Just give me this one. Because even though this song didn't start bubbling up in the charts until the end of 2024, I knew immediately as soon as I heard it that if it got high enough on the charts, it was going on my best list for 2025. I followed the trajectory of this song specifically as closely as I could, and thankfully, it made the year-end Hot 100, and I was able to put it on here. Espresso was great, Manchild was great, but this is better. Let's talk about the instrumental, which may be my favorite thing about the song. Those synths and that bass, it's so lush and comforting and seductive. The production is immaculate. The bridge, too?
And I bet we both arrive at the same time.
Best single section of music in the year. I don't want to act like this song is being carried by its production. Sabrina has had great vocal performances during this unstoppable run that she's been on, but man oh man, she's just on a whole nother level with this one. She turns it up to 11. No, even higher than that. She turns it up to...
And I bet the thermostat set at 6'9".
Well, okay, that. Anyway, Sabrina's best songs, I think, are the ones where she's a bit more playful and coy, and this song is the best example of that. Some of the lyrics are just so funny and barely hinged.
Come right on me, I mean camaraderie.
That line is hilarious, and only Sabrina could have A, thought of it in the first place, and B, delivered it in a way that actually works in the song. Even that sort of talk singing thing that she does, I don't usually like it when she does that, but even here it fits. And the whole experience is just so seductive, it captures you right away. And yes, I'm a guy, and I would be lying if I said that this didn't, do it for me. But Sabrina's greatest asset on this song is she has the force of personality to make it work, and she makes singing sound so effortless. Benson Boone, Alex Warren, Teddy Swims all just make singing sound like it's grueling work for them. And meanwhile, Sabrina comes along and makes it look so easy. You want to talk about a real feminist icon? Look at the amount of mediocre male artists that she routinely puts to shame just by existing. Okay, almost done. Let's do some honorable mentions.
Tell me, would you wait for me? Baby, I'm a rolling stone.
Yeah, sue me, I like MGK, which puts me in a significant minority, but I would have put this song on the list in a heartbeat if it had qualified.
Ever since I was a kid, I've been legit.
I know people don't really like this song because of Playboy Cardi, but I think it's fine. I like the flow of The Weeknd's verse, and the Travis Scott beat is solid. In a better year, I don't think this would have come anywhere near the list, but this is what we got.
Niggas acting bad, but somebody gotta do it.
It occurred to me in this whole Kendrick Lamar thing that I'm just really bad at predicting what songs will be most beloved by the fans. I really thought Squabble Up was going to outperform this in Luther, but that did not seem to be the case. It's still awesome though.
Gonna smile for none of these bitches.
That's the way I like it.
Wiping them down in front of these niggas.
That's the way I like it.
Funny enough, R&B actually had a really strong year overall, and SZA came out early leading the charge with this and Luther spending a lot of time up towards the top of the charts. But as far as I'm concerned, modern R&B runs through SZA until further notice.
It makes me melt. I know you wanna see me help my love.
This is the other somber song that I really liked, and it was a surprising departure from his other hits, which hit the moodier side of indie rock. But this song shows that he can really rock it when he wants to.
'Cause a feeling makes me weak.
Seriously, I'd get on the somber train now while you can, because he's gonna get real big real soon. Okay, that's enough. Let's reveal the #1 best song of the year.
Tell me, would you wait for me? Baby, I'm
Number 1.
right in me, but I don't wanna say this wrong.
So this would be the part of the video where I tell you that I'm somewhat surprised at my own #1 pick, and that Bedcam was my... Bedcam? So this would be the part of the video where I tell you that I'm somewhat surprised at my own #1 pick, and that Bedchem was going to be my #1 for a lot of the year, and try to build suspense for what the big reveal at the end is. However, it's not true. Not this year. From the second I heard this song, I knew it was going to be my #1.
I need some good news. Sydney sipping on cold truth. Nobody knows what I'm going through with the devil.
You've seen him before. He was my #2 pick last year, but this year a whirlwind of personal circumstances and outside forces got him over the hump to the #1 spot. I think we all had one hell of a year in which we were in desperate need of some good news. And I'm sure a lot of people could relate to this song on any number of levels, but for me, it was just one line that secured this song's spot at the top of this list.
Man, what a hell of a year it's been.
Oof. I have never felt a single lyric more deeply than that one. I heard that and I just melted. What a hell of a year it has been, indeed. Like I said, a lot of personal circumstances that befell me this year really played into my elevating this song to the #1 spot. But this song also reminds me a lot of Desperados Under the Eaves by Warren Zevon. And believe me, that is not a comparison that I make lightly. But the way the song sort of trails off with Zevon just humming the sound of the air conditioner in his cheap hotel room while he reflects on everything he's been through to get to that point is one of the most genius musical moments I have ever heard.
I was listening to the air conditioner hum. It went.
And while Good News is, at its core, another drinking song, to me it elicits the same feelings of introspection that Zevon achieves in the closing track of his debut album. And at the end of the day, you can't run away from your problems forever. Eventually you will end up in that cheap hotel room listening to the air conditioner hum, or at the end of the bar, forced to reckon with your past decisions and everything that led you here. Or in my case, sitting in an empty apartment room, talking to a camera, recording a video that probably won't get watched by a lot of people, or at least not all the way through. I mean, did you even watch this far? Am I still talking to anybody right now? Is what I'm saying actually reaching anybody? I don't know, but I do know that Good News really served as the sympathetic ear that I think everybody needed during this tumultuous year, myself most of all. It's not claiming to have all the answers to our problems or even that it has good news to give, but it is trying to tell us that it hears us. And sometimes that's all the good news that we need. If you did watch this far all the way to the end, thank you so much, and hopefully we all get some good news in 2026.
They say it gets darker when you're coming on down. Still looking for the right at the end of my road. At the end of my road.